You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never coming back.
Is this real life? I feel crazy. The world is spinning around me. What's happening? You have 4 eyes. I have 2 fingers.
That opening sets the tone immediately. This is not being pitched as a small celebrity feud. This is being framed as 50 Cent going straight at Diddy, while pushing the idea that the damage around him runs much deeper than what the public saw at first. And once that tone is set, everything that follows starts sounding bigger.
Turn 16. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, put the front shot in this.
Man.
That out. Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
All right, 16.
You're not ready.
16.
Slow down. Let's slow down, Josh.
Okay.
Let's slow down. Okay.
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when you know, when you get 16. You're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion.
Yeah.
So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you wanna do? What you wanna do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang out with some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about.
That confusion matters. Because this is exactly how these stories keep hitting people now. Old clips, old interviews, old rumors, new allegations, and suddenly the whole picture starts looking different than it did before.
That's been saying for years, this man is having sex with underage. So now the federal government is looking at that like, yo, when is somebody going to come forward? We got this information, this alleged information, but nobody's willing to come forward. Then they go on and say, yo, Shakur Stewart mysteriously dead. Supposed to be a self-inflicted wound. Person that had everything going for him in their life. Kim Porter dead. Somebody's car gets blown up. This guy is walking around threatening other actors, people. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop him. He lucky that God given him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive, didn't have to go to hell and face that shit. He got a chance to repent now, change his life.
You mentioned minors, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and they're making a lot of allegations.
That is where the story really locks in, because now the script is holding all 3 points together at once. 50 Cent as the one reopening the conversation, Diddy as the man at the center of it, and Justin Bieber as one of the names that makes the whole thing harder to ignore. That is why this kind of narration sounds stronger. It moves the story without dropping the names that matter.
Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, he could buy you one also.
Got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, apparently not.
Everything ain't for everybody.
I heard that that's not only the tape that's being shot. There's some other tapes out there, other people too with him. And him doing some things with some other people. So it's quite a few tapes that might be out there, what they're hearing. And I don't want to see the tapes, but I want to know if they're really true. Because if they got some tapes out there and it's with some underage, whether it's celebrities or not, it's gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be real crazy. And they're gonna have to bring that to forefront because the prosecutor's gonna want those tapes. And they're gonna do whatever they have to do legally to get those tapes. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. So we just better hope for his sake.
This is one of those clips people keep going back to. Maybe years ago, it was played off as celebrity fun. Now, with Diddy under heavier scrutiny and 50 Cent pushing harder, people hear it differently. And once Justin Bieber's name is inside that conversation, the old footage stops feeling so harmless.
If he's bigger than Diddy, and he's not none of the names that I said, probably so. But then they say he was young too.
Yeah, they say he was young.
Let me get his name right. I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber.
That's a good one. It might be him. But if they saying that the guy is young and he's an A-lister, I can't think of that many black people, man.
Right, not at all. And somebody that's more powerful, more of a celebrity than Diddy, you understand what I'm saying? If they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than Diddy, he was an A-lister, he was younger, you know what I'm saying? And if he's not black, it would have to be the Bieber. That's his name, Bieber? They said I got that wrong too, Justin Bieber, allegedly. I don't know, bro.
Right. But when you heard the news that Diddy, he had a tape with another man, did that catch you by surprise or not?
Well, all this shit is by surprise to me. A lot of this shit is by surprise to me, to be totally honest, man. Because I knew Puff, I knew Puff Daddy, I knew Diddy before he was Love and Brother Love and back to Diddy. So, no, but the diddler. He's the diddler now. A lot of it's surprising, but it's not unheard of. Because you hear of all kinds of and whether it registered with you or you internalize it or something like that, that's a whole nother story. But a lot of this stuff is crazy. But this is the world that we live in now, man. That these individuals thinks is all right. Bruh.
That is the bigger point. The script is not only asking questions about Diddy, it is also asking what kind of industry environment surrounded Justin Bieber, and why people like 50 Cent now sound more relevant than they did when they first started talking. This is where the script gets more serious. Not because every claim here is proven, but because it shows how the story is being pitched. Years of allegations, years of fear, and years of people saying nothing publicly. And that is exactly the lane 50 Cent keeps pushing into whenever Diddy's name comes up.
Good. He fizzled out fast, too.
So would you say someone like Justin Bieber's a victim? I just seen he is reportedly selling his whole catalog because he's broke.
Yeah. Yeah. And once he finishes getting that money, I don't understand why he's broke. He didn't have to be broke. Usher just wouldn't stop robbing him.
Damn.
I mean, Usher couldn't keep his hands out of his pocket. It's funny. He got him signed and turned over custody to Diddy. Boy was never the same, and neither was Usher's pockets, because Usher's been living off of Justin Bieber's money. He ain't been living off of his own. Because the truth is, Usher don't really make that kind of money. And I'm really just kind of sick and tired of Usher reigning.
Yeah,
I'm really kind of disgusted with Usher reigning, who does Greek wrestling nude with men over Frosted Flakes, allegedly. Like, I'm sick and tired of this guy who everyone knows got the Diddy bumps, who's been sued for passing them on and lost, is still sitting there disgracing women in front of their men who bought the tickets to like that whole scheme.
He's causing a lot of divorce courts.
But why? He don't even want them. He don't want them women. He's literally doing it just to destroy relationships.
This section should be heard for what it is: commentary, claims, and suspicion, not settled fact. But in a script like this, it still plays a role. It shows why Diddy became surrounded by a much darker public narrative, and why people like 50 Cent kept insisting the industry had ignored too much for too long. That right there is the exact style you were pointing me toward. The clip brings up Justin Bieber, but the narration quickly swings back to 50 Cent, while keeping Diddy right in the middle. That is why it feels controlled. It doesn't get stuck. It keeps the names active inside one flow.
A video of an interview of Justin Bieber, and he was talking about Billie Eilish. And he was broke, almost in tears. He's like, I just want to protect her. I just want to keep her safe.
Yeah.
What do you think he went through?
Because he knows what's been happening to Billie. Just like everybody knew what was happening to Millie Bobby Brown girl with Drake. These people are monsters.
Jermaine Dupri said something interesting. He said the reason that R&B isn't as powerful as it is anymore is because children are going to church.
Yeah.
What is it about the transfer from the spiritual to the secular do you believe that's what made R&B so powerful?
Understand this. Rhythm and blues was a combination of gospel and soul music. Because soul music has always been around in one form or another. It's just evolved throughout the years. And you got gospel, rhythm and blues. That's what put that together. That's why they made such a big stink about the Ray Charles incorporating gospel sounds into secular music. Because they wanted people to separate the two. This is demon, this is good. The truth is none of that's real. Right. There is no bad, there is no good. There is what is and there is what is not. And that's sad. But when you take the spirit that comes from that, and see, in church they preach love, they preach love, they preach love. And God is love. The love that we experience, everything that we do, all of that is just a derivative from the endorphins that come from the relationship with God. It's all there. When you go and you sit in a place and you hear a song sung and it quickens you in your soul and you feel stirred up, how the hell can just a sound coming out of a mouth create all of that? That's God. So when you take God out of society, all you're left with are emotions, impulses, instincts. And that's what the fuck we got. Right. In music. He's absolutely right. If you take God, God's love, out of something, all you're stuck with is the rudimentary shit. The sludge, fucking Gollum, running around saying, my precious. You know, that's what you got.
And now, Jack, you spoke on Piers Morgan saying that you used to be in this world.
Yeah.
Of the sex worker world, and you've seen kind of the depravity that the human mind could go to.
Again, this is old material being reread through a new lens. That is the whole engine of the story now. Diddy's old public image is under pressure. Justin Bieber's old moments are being revisited, and 50 Cent keeps framing those moments as part of something bigger than celebrity gossip. This is exactly how stories online start running away. Names start getting guessed, rumors start hardening, and suddenly speculation starts sounding like proof. So the stronger way to narrate this section is not to confirm it, but to show how Justin Bieber's name became part of the wider cloud around Diddy, especially as old footage kept resurfacing. Now the story widens again. It is not just Diddy and Justin Bieber anymore. Now Usher enters the picture, and the script starts suggesting a longer chain of influence, access, and damage across different generations of young stars. That makes the story feel bigger and darker. This is one of the strongest narration blocks in the whole transcript, because it stops sounding like random scandal talk and starts sounding like a pattern. Diddy stays at the center, Justin Bieber becomes part of a bigger timeline, and the whole thing starts sounding like the exact kind of industry story 50 Cent wants people to look at differently.
Listen, bro. Just doing law enforcement myself, just take for instance. I think the individual was a Syracuse former basketball player named Jason Barnes or Beard or something like that. He already had drug charges against him. The day Diddy house get raided, they catch him getting on a plane and they put him into custody. Didn't that sound a little weird? People didn't catch that. They either put him in custody for a couple of reasons. You understand? One, to make a witness out of him, or to safeguard him and protect him for anything that could happen to him, because they had already stated, allegedly, that he was some kind of mule for the people over there at Diddy's house. So now, with that information, that he was already known by the government for drug charges, wouldn't that be an individual that you use? I'm gonna give you something different. And I'm gonna give you something else that people don't even think. On the other day, I seen on the video that Puff had ran into Justin Bieber. They met up, and he started tapping him as if he was searching him, and see if he had some kind of device on. Did you see that?
Yep.
Check this out. What if the federal government have already talked to Justin Bieber? And Diddy did that on tape. That means in his mind, he think this person may be a witness. Right?
Yep.
What he had just done that is against the law.
Nothing that we've seen.
Tampering with a federal witness. If they have already talked to Justin Bieber prior to him doing that, he goes and look like he's searching him. It appears that he's asking Justin Bieber, yo, you got a wire or something like that? Like, you're tampering with a federal witness. That's a charge right there that can land him in jail. Reckless. That was real reckless.
Man, it's gonna be kind of crazy to see everything unfold, man. Well, if worse comes to worse, and Diddy has to do some time, how do you think he's gonna handle it?
Usually individuals acclimate themselves into situations and they do the best that they can do. I just don't think him being a free spirit and off drugs, once he gets into that situation, that he'll handle it that well. I could be wrong.
A lot of people believe he's going to end himself.
Well, I heard him say that before when that City College incident happened. He was talking like that back then. Because he thought it was a possibility that he would be going to jail. He lost his job at Uptown. So he's done a lot of things, been a lot of places. I don't think he has the spirit.
That moment changes the tone, because once Justin Bieber starts sounding protective instead of carefree, people begin asking what he may have seen, what he may have experienced, and why those old moments around Diddy now hit so differently. And that is why 50 Cent matters so much in this script. Without him, this turns into scattered clips and scattered rumors. With him, the story gets a center. He keeps pushing the idea that Diddy was protected for too long and that names like Justin Bieber force people to look at the cost of that silence. These are extremely serious claims, and they should stay in that lane. Claims. But in terms of storytelling, this is why the conversation keeps escalating. The names are already huge, the allegations are already heavy, and the public already has years of old footage involving Diddy, Justin Bieber, and others to look back on. That is what keeps the pressure alive. And that is the cleanest place to land this. Because in the end, this is not only about proving one rumor or replaying one clip. It is about why Justin Bieber's name keeps resurfacing, why Diddy remains at the center of the scrutiny, and why 50 Cent keeps pushing the idea that the warning signs were always there. For years, moments like these were brushed off. Now, with 50 Cent pushing harder, old footage is being replayed, old questions are coming back, and Diddy's image is being judged through a very different lens than before. And when Justin Bieber's name keeps resurfacing in the middle of all this, it only makes the bigger questions louder. That silence held for a long time. Now it's starting to crack.